Books are the most important thing in my life. See, this book, at the age of 12, this was my first birthday gift. This was a gift from men that my mom used to work for. This book is titled The Last White Parliament by Philani Dladla. Obviously, this book is about politics. This is priceless, lovely lady. Please hold on to it. Obviously, it's about politics. But I didn't know that that book was about politics. And I had to know that it was politics because that man gave me that book and gave me a promise that if I was able to read it and tell him what that book was about, he was going to buy me another book. I wanted this book very much. But the challenge is I couldn't read or speak English properly. I was going to this school that we taught in Zulu, because it was in rural area in KZN. But that didn't stop me because I had my eyes on the prize and I wanted it. As I started reading, played less, spent less time with my friends, reading, until I was able to read and know that this book was about South African politics. It helped me a lot. Growing up for me was not a walk in the park. I was raised by a single mom who was struggling after my abusive father had passed away. But mom, she was a very sweet lady. She did everything that she could to make us not feel like there was anything missing in our lives. I've got two brothers, that's why I'm saying us. So it was me and my brothers. Mom was very hardworking and she tried everything that she could just to make sure that we get everything that other kids with both mom and father had. But I guess that was not enough for me. After all that hard work that she did to try to make me comfortable and feel like there was nothing missing, I still felt like in need of being cool. I wanted to be a part of this crew that was the coolest crew in my school. I did everything that I had to do to impress them. And yeah, I made it. I became a member of that crew. But I was just asking for trouble. For my membership fee, I had to save all my pocket money every day for beers with the boys every weekend. So there was no lunch for me. But it was nice because I was a crew member. That's all I ever wanted at this age. I came from being bullied to being a bully. It was nice for me because I didn't even think as bullying as I can see it now. But it didn't end well. To smoke cigarettes, beat other kids, to take stuff from kids. If I want it, I gotta have it. Anything, your money, your books, whatever. I ended up being kicked out of school. At the age of 16, I was kicked out of high school. It was very hard for me. Everybody was moving on with their lives. Even that crew that I wanted to be a part of, they just moved on like I never existed. It was very hard, but mom was very supportive because she never gave up on me. She worked extra hard, though she was struggling. You know, I'm talking about serious poverty, but she was struggling. She managed to save enough money for me to go rewrite my matric at a further education and training college the following year. Cool. I registered and I started my course, with hopes that I was not going to disappoint my mom again. But I guess I never learned from my high school stupid mistakes. Like few months after I started my course, I found myself trying to impress girls and friends again, partying like there was no tomorrow, going out while other students were studying. It didn't end well. That is why I didn't get my matric certificate. I was partying, getting high, drinking. I got stabbed and left for dead. It was the 25th of August. It was a very sad experience for me. While again, I was left behind. While my peers were writing their exams, I was laying on a hospital bed. It was very hard and sad when after being discharged from hospital, everybody was calling me names, calling me a loser, calling me a bad influence. Nobody wanted their kids to play with me. I ended up trying to commit suicide. But with God's grace, my brother was able to save me before it was too late. Then mom didn't like it that everybody was making fun of me, so she decided to move me to Joburg. I moved to Joburg, it was in 2008. I lived with her friend. She was so sweet, so very supportive, just like mom was. Yeah, she helped me a lot to get a job, start working, saving money, saving money, saving money. After 6 to 7 months, I was able to stand on my own, to rent my own place. It was cool being a man of the house. Nobody tells me what time I should be home or whatever. But I got too much, I guess it was like too much for me. I was excited too much and over comfortable. I started doing drugs. Started as an experiment because I was like everything, coke, crack, anything that was in there, heroin, everything, weed, beers, everything. And it messed up my life. I remember I lost my apartment that I was renting. I lost my job. I lost friends, everything. I got kicked out of the flat that I used to live with. To live in, with only a bag full of my clothes, a blanket. But I was lucky because they allowed me to take my book collection because it was very priceless. So they gave me, I only had just a pile of books, a blanket, and a bag full of clothes. I spent most of that day in a park, there in Joburg Park. Some of you may know it. It was very hard. It was a long day, longest day of my life, in fact. I had to make a plan. Time was going, but still, I didn't know where to go. So I decided I remembered seeing people sleeping under the Nelson Mandela Bridge. So that is where I left. That was my bedroom once. That is where I went and asked them for a place to sleep under the bridge. They gave me a place to sleep, but as a rental payment, I had to give them a bag full of my clothes. But yeah, I had nothing, I had no choice. So I said, yes, as long as I've got a place to sleep, cool. Every morning, everybody living there under that bridge, street life is very cold, unpredictable, and like tough. You always wake up not knowing where your meal is gonna come from. Very hard. But every day, everybody woke up and go to their different directions. And me, everybody, I was relying on them to help me with things. I got tired of that. So I saw them begging on the street corners, doing their things, some recycling. I decided to do what I know best. I took my pile of books. I went to Empire Road, where at the Vet University's entrance in Yale Road. Decided to make friends with people who are passing by, telling them about books, getting to know how much they know about like classical authors like Emily Bronte, who's that guy, Tale of Two Cities, Dickens, Charles. Yeah, and I found many people and talking about people like Socrates and good people who were very wise, those philosophers. Yeah, and I found out that they didn't know much about books, but they only knew about study material. So I decided to give them book reviews, sell them books, get them reading. They liked it. But the problem is, at first I didn't sell them books. I just gave them reviews, synopses, and they wanted to keep my books. I said, no, these are collectibles. At least I can open a mobile library. You can take a book. Within a week, I want it back. If you don't bring it back, you're going to pay extra. And yeah, it's worked, but still my books were in demand. So I decided to give them books for sale. Now I started saving money, though most of the money I was making was still going to drugs. But I managed to, I managed to save some to buy books to now start a mobile bookshop. And yeah, people were supportive. They were buying books, and it was helping me to feed and to smoke. Yeah. And it was very sad. Still, I didn't like the life that I was living. Though I was getting high and smile and laugh all day, but at night I was always crying, praying to God, asking is this the life that I want to live? Is this how I'm gonna end? I'm like, all right, now God help me. I was able to go days and weeks without smoking. I decided to take the money that I was making from my book sales, put it on to good news. I started a feeding scheme for the guys I was living under the bridge with. Every day I would buy a cup of soups and bread and give to them. Why? I was avoiding money. I just wanted to be broke, but putting money into good use. so that I won't have anything to smoke. But the guys, after that movie maker, one of the days after, there was this movie maker who made just a short video about me and posted it on YouTube, and people liked it, and people wanted to know more about me. So media started flooding to Empire, wanting to interview this Pavement Bookworm guy. They liked it. I'm talking media, TV, radio, newspapers, everything. But it was good for marketing my business part. It was bad because it turned the guys I was living under the bridge with, it turned them sour. They didn't like it. So they threatened to kill me. They chased me. First, they moved me away. They forced me to move away from Empire where I used to sell. And they chased me out of the bridge, under the bridge, in our bedroom. They chased me out again. So, but I was lucky. On that very same day, I found a guy who knew a guy who had an apartment. I said, no, good news. I went there. When I got there, it was nice. It was luxury for me because it was an apartment, no running water, no electricity, but at least it was an abandoned property. So, and the good thing is I only had to pay 100 rands for monthly rental payment. So it was good news. But still, now I had accommodation and my books business was booming. People were buying. But still, I wanted to do something good with this money that I was making. So I decided to get kids who had parents who can't afford buying them books and buy them books with the money that I was making. Kids like this. They call their friends. It was like a growing family. Every day, started from 6 members. Today, I've got 50 kids in my book readers club. They are my regular members, and they are very patient about books, and I want to help them to further their education from now. I don't want them to go to my readers club and do well at school, and after that they go out there and be prostitutes or do drugs like I did, or maybe be criminals. I want to be able to help them have a better education that is gonna make sure, because education, more especially if it's a good education, then your life is gonna be good. I want them to live a good life. These are my kids. These kids, some of them, my time is running. Thanks, good people. See, these guys, these kids were like first of the 6 girls that I started this book readers club with, and now I have 50 today. And now we've got a we've got a website for anybody who thinks they can do something to help those guys. It's the pavementbookworm.co.za. These kids are wise. These kids are, now I'm working with equipping them with computer skills. But it's hard to teach 50 kids how to use a computer with only a single laptop. But we're getting there. I know someday somebody's gonna feel like doing something good. So if you feel like doing something good for others, well, someday start with those kids. These kids, I'm telling you, these are our future leaders. That is why I don't want anything. For me, I don't need no luxury. My luxury, it puts a smile on my face to see a kid reading a book, because I know what books did for me. Books are very good for your mental health. Books saved me from drug addiction. Help me help these kids to, have a better education, and that is how we can change this world. You don't need to be rich. Start with the little that you have. Sharing is caring. Thanks.